So you've discovered the secrets of time travel, and you decide to head back to the year 2009 to bring back 5 Bionicle sets to the present day. So let me share my top 5 favorite sets from that year that I would bring back, and maybe I can give you some ideas for what you would bring back. Honestly man, 2009 is an underrated year for Bionicle with some of the best sets that they made for the theme, in my opinion. So let's dive in and discuss one of the best. We'll start things off with a number 5 spot. The last set that I'm picking up, well, it's your favorite and mine. It's Gresh. The energy of this character is so electric. The way he's posed, the sharp lines of the spikes on his armor, and the spikes that flow out of his head. The look of him, he's just so agile, so energetic, and so powerful. Honestly, every Glatorian warrior that came out this year, they've got such clear character. And each one has such a really impressive and distinct design. Honestly, the Toa size sets this year, they reached their peak. The set designers did their best to not just make them clones with the same bodies and only changing the mask and the colors and the weapons. No, characters like Gresh, they felt so different from any other Glatorian. You look at them, you immediately understand their personality. It's just very well designed. He's so captivating, he's so well done. And yeah, frankly, he just looks freaking cool. Now, I played with Gresh a lot as a kid, so much so that while I was playing with him, I came up with this cool narrative that he had an evil clone called Dark Gresh. Here's an old photo of that mark, and I ended up having to paint Gresh's mask and his weapons black to achieve this mark. But if I was doing stuff like this, you can understand how much I enjoyed the character. By the way, next to this mark, you can see here a revamp of Gresh that I did where I combined the Stars version of Gresh and the regular Gresh together into one mark. Yeah, Gresh was my boy as a kid. And since I painted over the original Gresh mask and weapons when I was just a kid and I did this mark, yeah, I might need to pick up another Gresh just so I can get those beautiful old pieces and restore him to his former glory. Oh, and real quick, how awesome are Gresh's weapons? 2 blades that come together to form a shield, or he can hold them separately as these cool arm blades that run up along the arm, or they can be held the other way so they're a bit more of a longer weapon. And also, technically, he could hold them from the axle that's at the very bottom of the shield there. That way it's a bit more like an actual sword. That's just the coolest. These weapons are a big reason that I really love Gresh. Okay, time for the number 4 spot now. And by the way, it's worth saying that this might have been one of the hardest years to pick for. Picking my top 5 favorites here was honestly very difficult because every set this year was a banger. Picking my top 5 was hard because these sets go hard. Now, yeah, okay, sure, Gresh was really cool, but there is another who's slightly cooler, and well, that's Gelu. I mean, look at him. Check out the incredible mask, the way it frames his face like a cool, T-visor. Dude looks like a freaking Mandalorian with a mask like that. He's also got Metis's amazing ice shield, but instead of it being a shield, it's split apart and it works for his nice shoulder armor. I guess if you really wanted to, you could actually take that off and turn it into a shield, but no, he's got some icy shoulders. He'll give you the cold shoulder, it's good. And then his fantastic weapon. Wow! I love all the cool ways that they've showcased the ice motif for this character. It's freaking awesome. I always thought he was one of the coolest and best looking Glatorian sets. Although maybe one Glatorian set is a little bit better, you'll have to stay tuned to see which one that is. Now, back to that mask. That magnificent mask. Every time I see this, I always think of a mock by Tony A that's called Harvest. Now, Tony's a pretty lucky boy because he has a misprint of this mask in dark green. Oh, the things I would do to own that incredible mask. I mean, yeah, it looks cool in white, but it looks even cooler in dark green. And the way he's integrated it into the torso design here, oh, so good. But look, we're getting distracted. Gelu is a wonderful set. The rule of cool prevails once again, he's awesome. Okay, now let's go to the number 3 spot. You might have thought this one might be a little higher up on the list, but no sir, it's here. It's Toa Matanui. This is for sure one of my favorite Titan sets of all time. The posability it has. The way it looks as well, he looks like this all-powerful god. This was one of the last Titan sets that LEGO released before they cancelled the first generation of Bionicle sets. And it was actually one of the last Bionicle sets I bought when the theme hadn't quite ended yet and was still very actively being sold on store shelves. And it really did feel like a perfect send-off for this theme. We finally got Matanui as a Titan set in his full glory. And that was something that Bionicle fans had wanted since Bionicle began. We had a Makuta Titan set fairly early on in Bionicle's history. What about Titan Matanui? And finally we got that, along with the legendary Mask of Life, but in gold. Not in silver like we had before. Gold, the canon color of the mask, and the color it looks best in, frankly. This really is like a holy grail Bionicle set. Everything about it is incredible. Now for the number 2 spot, this is that best Glatorian that I teased earlier. I love this set so much, you have no idea. It's Strack. Now look, Strack was a dishonorable bloke. In the Legend Reborn, the Bionicle movie, he didn't really fight with honor, and that was disappointing. Sure, the character might be a little bit of a worm, but oi, the set slaps. The fact that this set has Strack's element of ice just so loud and proud and on display, it really sets him apart from any of the other sets. Not even just in this wave, any Bionicle. Dude looks like an ice golem or some kind of like ice elemental. I don't know, he just has this wonderful fantasy look about him that LEGO's never really explored on any kind of Bionicle set. And with his signature hunched back and neck, he's got such a distinct look and feel to him that's unlike anything. It's magnificent. And mate, those ice pieces on Strack's shoulders, I've seen them used so many times, so well on heaps of LEGO MOCs. It's a brilliant piece. Yeah, I mean a MOC like Wormy World's Boreal Vixen, it uses them as ice fur. It's just freaking genius. These pieces may well be some of my all-time favorite Bionicle parts. They're just so versatile. And they look great on Strack. You couple that with his mask design with those big chunky ice teeth and his frizzy ice hair, it's awesome. Yeah, this is another mask that I've seen a lot of beautiful misprints for. I would do so many things to own one of these bad boys, so cool. But yeah dude, Strack is different. And I'm obsessed with the look of this character and the brilliant pieces that come in this set. Oh, and I haven't even spoken about that ice axe yet. Everything on this is amazing. Heck yeah, go Strack. Okay, so we'll get to that number 1 spot very soon, but first, we'll touch on some honorable mentions. In no particular order, we have a Vorox. Now, the wiki describes them as a primitive nomad with a bestial nature, and I think that's certainly captured in this mask. It's a great mask, isn't it? It's almost scorpion-like in the look of it, so bestial, but just, again, so different from any other Bionicle mask we got before. 2009 Bionicle did that so well. Almost every set is so uniquely distinct. I love the territory it's exploring. Now, we've also got this lovely tan color scheme and a cool posable tail. Vorox looks so cool. You combine that with Zesk, their little tiny friends. There's so much to love. But I got a fun story to share with you about a Vorox. So in Australia, we have a toy store called Toy World. And I was there one year, I want to say it was maybe like 2010, 11, I think. And I wanted to buy a system set. I don't recall what set, sadly, but I was paying for it. And the man behind the counter, he plops down a Vorox canister and he's like, yeah, there you go. And I was confused. I was like, what do you mean? I didn't buy that. Anyway, it turns out if you purchased a LEGO set over $45, you got a free Bionicle set with it. And so I got a free Vorox. And I was like freaking euphoric. Free Bionicles? Oh, it was so sick. And it made me very, very happy. And that's the dream, right? Free Bionicle? It's nice to have briefly lived that dream. Stronius is our next honorable mention, and yeah, the bulky and strong look of this character, I love it. These Stronius armor pieces, the cool like obsidian stone look of them, it's menacing, it's sturdy, it's impressive. And the character design for Stronius, I love it. It's nice that we got like a big bulkier version of the common Skrull. I think the Skrull set was great on its own. This was a nice upgrade, or a bit of variance. I suppose they're like a subspecies. And you know, you just don't see people using Stronius's pieces or like revamping Stronius all that much. And he's great. He needs more love. Another honorable mention goes to Akar. Now this is another brilliantly designed Glatorian with a really striking red and orange color scheme, and one of the coolest swords ever. Now I really loved Akar's character in the Legend Reborn movie, which certainly contributes to my love of this set, and you know, as a result of watching that movie, I played with this toy for hours. Also, these cool leg guard armor pieces on the bottom of the lower leg on Akar. These were some of my favorite pieces, and these were definitely a fan favorite back on mockpages.com when everyone was building Bionicles there. That's a great piece, and this is a great toy. Also, Jim Cummings, the voice of Hondo Ohnaka from Star Wars, one of my favorite characters. Turns out he was the voice actor for Akar in the movie. No wonder I love him so much. And Malum's up next. Now, look at him, he's cool. And I remember really loving his story as well. Malum was a Glatorian that was exiled to the Wastelands for punishment after committing crimes in the arena. He then became the leader of a Vorox tribe. I remember reading that on the wiki and I was like, that's sick. I still think it's cool. And Malum's claws, they're a bit of a favorite of mine. You know, the color and the shape of them, it looks like they're on fire. And claw weapons, what's not to love? More fantastic character design right here. And the last honorable mention, it goes to the Thornatus V9. Now, there were many good vehicles that came out this year. It might have been one of the best years for Bionicle vehicles. But oi, the Thornatus V9, this is one of the best. A big giant wheel on the back and four Midax Sky Blasters on the back. This thing packs a punch and it looks awesome. Something else that was cool about this is the way that the wheels and a few other parts kind of like pop out, and yeah, as a result the weapons can be moved to the front so it's more ready for combat. I really liked that play feature, and something else that was great about it is it allowed for a little bit more storage. I'd play with this a lot back in 2009, and I would often put a lot of Bionicles on top of it, have them race around and drive places. And here's an image of exactly that. This is an image from like an old webcomic I used to post on mock pages. And so yeah, you can see that opening function there, so it allows Kossi to sit on the front of it. But something else I loved is Akar could actually sit on the top and mount the little turret that's up the back. It was one of those cool little play features that they never really advertised, but you could totally do it. A lot of nice hidden surprises in this beautiful set. Okay, we're finally at the number 1 spot. It goes to a set that I don't own, but I did recently purchase and it's on its way. I'm very excited. It's the Scorpio XV1. Look mate, a giant scorpion machine that's freaking huge, has a giant tail with multiple weapons on it, then it's got a cool little Keats Orange character riding the machine, and to top it all off, it transforms from a scorpion machine into a compact little tank. A tank! This set has it all. Of course it's in the number 1 spot. Yeah, I remember dreaming of owning this set. It was easily one of the coolest Bionicle sets they'd ever made. Sadly, it was a little expensive back in 2009 and I couldn't really afford it. But with adult money, it can finally be mine. But yeah, the sheer size of this set, it's so imposing and so impressive. And just looking at it, you know it's cool. So yeah, of course I'm picking this one up when I travel back in time. Although, if I'm about to get one in the mail sometime soon, maybe that might sway my opinion if I already have one. But 2 would be pretty cool. Well, if time travel's ever invented, we'll figure that problem out. So yeah, that's my 5 favorites and some honorable mentions as well. Did you like my picks? Do you think you'd pick up some different stuff if you were to travel back to 2009? Well, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.